I love this idea that everything is either contributing to my desire or is fulfilling the desire. And this idea of the whole journey along the way.
Because expansion is inevitable and you can't go back and there is no regression. So flipping away from something is a misunderstanding. It can't happen. It's a flawed premise.
And so is this place, I'm perceiving almost a threshold between step 4 and step 5, where I notice that there's enough momentum that I can, I'm not saying I would like to do this, but I was a little sloppy with my thinking, and everything worked out incredibly fine. And I'm on that other side of things.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's amazing.
Because the next logical step is well-being and success and what is wanted. And so once you get that, once you know that things are working out for you, then sometimes you can slow it down and sometimes you can make it take longer than it needs to. But when you really get it, that it's all working out, then you start savoring it. Then you start savoring the experiences. And that's why we're calling step 5 the realization that step 1 is a wonderful thing too. That a problem is the beginning of a magnificent growth experience. That without the identification of what you don't want, you could not identify what you do want. That focusing comes out of all of that. And focusing is always a really good thing.
And so what's going on with childhood desires? Like, ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to come to Australia. It's been the biggest dream that I had. And when I booked the trip, and was thrilled, and then thought, oh shit, I need to come up with some new desires, because this was it. And now I'm here, and I'm not.
But the thing that we've been saying today, and we really want you to hear this, remember earlier when we were talking about how the contrast causes you to put that in the vortex and that and that and that. So you're putting all of these pieces and all of these ingredients, and it's in the process of becoming something that you might not even be able to articulate or identify. You don't need to worry about there being endless desires that are in your vortex. But the reason that you don't know that is because you don't stay steady in the receptive mode so that they can keep flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing. Mm-hmm. We want you to feel, just for a little bit, the uncondition of what clarity feels like or love feels like in relationship to what a trip feels like. And isn't the reason for a trip for those feelings of clarity and love and fun? In other words, isn't that what it's all about anyway? So there is a shortage consciousness that is active within you when you say that what if I run out of things that I want? One day we said to someone, we were trying to get them to talk about what they wanted, and they couldn't come up with anything. They'd already been to Australia. There was nothing left. And so we were encouraging them to try to think of something that they wanted. And finally she said she couldn't come up with anything. So we'd say, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And she'd say, oh, I've already got that. I've already got that. I've already got that. And it was a strong realization for everyone who was sitting in on that so many people associate desire with that feeling of angst. In other words, there's a sort of edge about you want it, but you don't have it. And that awareness that you want something that you don't have is what humans often call desire. It's sort of that edgy feeling. It's that being on the cusp of feeling relief when it comes. And we want you to understand that desire doesn't have that angst in it. Pure desire, when it is being allowed to flow, is what you feel when you're yahooing down the canyon. It's what you felt when you leaped just a little bit just now. It's that unbridled awareness of how blessed you are and how cooperative the universe is in assisting you. It's the difference between, and this is not the perfect analogy, but it's the difference between the genie offering you 3 wishes and offering you unlimited wishes.
So how do we know, why are there these things that we've felt compelled to do or drawn to do since childhood? that desire that's been so long in coming? Is it more than just a dream from being a kid? Is it that just the planting of a seed and then just being aware that there's something there for me? I mean, some strange things have happened. I've been here for 6 weeks, and I have about 5 months to go. And then I'll meet up with you in Mexico. And so I'm having a great time, and I'm having some of those little, I don't know, they're just little awarenesses. Like, I'm from the United States. I've never met a person from Alabama in the entire time I've lived in the United States. And I flew to Tasmania, and there was only one other American on the tour I was on, and he was from Alabama. So I was like, oh, great, never met anyone from there. And then 5 more times on the trip, including outside in line today, Alabama keeps coming towards me. Now, this is just an example. I mean, I have no idea what's going on in Alabama, but obviously something's there for me so that when I don't, so something's going to happen around that. Do you know what I mean? You must, because I don't.
Here's what we know. Your thoughts matter a lot. Your thoughts are powerful. When you focus on anything, no matter how inconsequential it seems, the universe will deliver you proportionate to the activity that it holds in your vibrational frequency. It is only as simple as that. And it is only as important as that. Ask your big question again. What is it that you're reaching for? What is it that's stuck in your vibrational crawl? What is it that's bothering you here?
Nothing's bothering me. I'm enjoying the manifestation of little things, and I'm enjoying the manifestation of big things. And I guess for me, it's been extremely exciting to fulfill what I'm perceiving as the last of my childhood dreams.
The universe doesn't see big things or little things. The universe sees resisted things or unresisted things. Mm-hmm. What's manifesting isn't a desire that you've held for a long time. The answer to your question is, we want to answer your question with another question. Why did it take you so long to get out of the way of your childhood dream?
I got it. Okay, it's the dream that had the most resistance to it.
And that's true with most people. Most people, when they want to have a conversation with us, want to talk about their biggest struggle or their biggest issue. And we're always willing to talk with anybody about anything. But we think that it is curious that you all want to take the thing that isn't working and give so much attention to it. And that is the reason that your childhood dreams take so long to be fulfilled. You think about them and you think about them and you think about them and you think about them, but you think about them in their current, not yet fulfilled state of being.
But the thing is, it feels so good to be here. It feels so good to be manifesting it. It feels more powerful to me because of the intensity of the desire. So to me, that's what I'm enhancing. What I've learned so far is that whatever I talk about here changes my entire life on that topic.
We can see how if you allow yourself to get a little bit hungry, you enjoy a meal more. Yeah. But don't take it to an extreme so that you're so emaciated and starving to death before you allow yourself to eat. And that's what's happening with so many people. They're disallowing what they want for so long. There's got to be something more than reaching for relief. Relief is the sensation that you feel when you stop doing that thing you're doing that is holding you back from what you're wanting. But there is something so much more intoxicating, delicious than just having relief. And what that is going with the flow of all of your power. So childhood dreams were, when you first launched them, they were small and they gathered momentum. Here's what we want you to know. There's no reason for you to launch a desire into your vortex and not fulfill it immediately. So if there's anything that you desire that is not showing itself to you in lots of different ways every day, then you've got resistance about it, otherwise it would have. Mm-hmm. So what is it about childhood dreams? Well, it's mostly about adults saying, we can't afford that, and you can't do that, and who do you think you are, and money doesn't grow on trees, and. At the same time that you are giving birth to desires, you are justifying why you are not allowing those desires to unfold. And the reason for that, we're coming full circle again, is because you are so aware of where you stand. You're so comparative in where you stand in relationship to where others stand. And mostly so comparative about where you stand and sort of defensive because your childhood dream is calling you. Here it is. Here's the answer to your question and the most important segment that we are having in this seminar, and maybe the most important thing that we've come to in a very, very long, maybe the most important thing that we'll ever come to. Maybe it's the most important thing that you will ever hear ever. Ever. And that is, so let's pose the question again. Why is it that I can have a desire for a long time and it's slow in manifesting? And the answer is because for whatever reason you're not a vibrational match to it. Now let's ask why you would not be a vibrational match to your own desire. Because when you are a vibrational match to it, it feels wonderful. When you are a vibrational match to it, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. When you are a vibrational match to it, you have clarity and love and friskiness and appreciation and empowerment and all of those good feeling things. So why would you not be a vibrational match to your own desire? Because the desire hasn't manifested, but what is has. And you've got your attention on what is, and here it is. And you can feel that there's something off about that desire not yet being manifested. And so, drum roll please, and so you stand in explanation about why it hasn't happened. Sort of anticlimactic, isn't it? But that's all. That's all. You stand in explanation. Well, I was born in Alabama. Or, big obstacle. Or. Think of how much justifying you do. So how do you get there? How do you get to that place where you are defending where you stand to anyone? Because, oh, hear this. Your inner being sure isn't asking you for that explanation. Your inner being adores you and is never saying, why haven't you gone further? Or why are you not allowing more of what you want to be? Never, ever, ever is that anything that you're getting from your inner being. So where are you getting it? Where are you getting it? What are you trying to defend? It's really worth thinking about because it's futile and it's unnecessary. It's other people who have sort of taught you too. It's comparison about what others are doing, but mostly it is this. You heard us say earlier that the way you know how much you are loved is by the discomfort you feel when you don't allow the love. Remember that? So this is the same thing. You know at so many levels of your being that you are over here. And you can feel the offness of being over here. So just keep incessantly explaining why you're over here, why you're over here, why you're over here. It's that simple. And if we could convince you, I'd like to zap you. Boom. Can't do it. There's no assertion. But if we could convey something to you that would set you in so much better vibrational place, it would be, hear us when we say, your inner being really likes you as you are. Knowing that there's constant manifestational expansion on your doorstep. We want to stay here just for a minute because this matters so much. We want you to feel about yourself the way your inner being feels about you. But you can't do that if you are feeling incomplete about not accomplishing your childhood dream. You said that 2 or 3 times here. I had this childhood dream.
I guess where my question really is, because I'm living it. I'm living my dream and I'm appreciative of it. I'm thankful for being here. Is it that as soon as that one was manifested, I basically did set off all these other rockets of desire for big, huge, wonderful things? And then
you never stop doing that. But there's something that we really want you to hear. If you've been listening to us for a while, you've heard us say it hundreds of times. There's enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. There is enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. So the vortex is there. The desire is powerful. You're in the receptive mode. And then you receive what you then call a desire. And you think you just got the desire when you were in the receptive mode.